previous tutorial, we have seen introduction about the subject, instrumental methods of analysis and spectroscopy, because we are moving towards the spectroscopic techniques. We have seen that spectroscopy is a result of interaction of EMR, means electromagnetic radiation, and the matter, means of our analyte. Spectroscopy means interaction of EMR and the matter. So, to understand that interaction, first we have to understand what is EMR, what are its properties, right? So, in particularly this video tutorial, we will see introduction and properties of EMR, means electromagnetic radiation, and the electromagnetic spectrum, which is in short known as EMS. Electromagnetic radiation is in short known as EMR and electromagnetic spectrum is in short known as EMS. In EMR, we will discuss following topics like introduction of EMR, then history, wave properties of EMR, then characteristic properties of EMR and particle properties of EMR. First, what is EMR? So, all the radiations are involved in the category electromagnetic radiation, because all the radiations have both of the characteristics, electrical and magnetic. So, they are known as electromagnetic radiation widely. Electromagnetic radiation is a form of energy that is transmitted through space on enormous velocity. Because all the radiations have some form of energy, so EMR is a form of energy which transmits through space on enormous velocity, means on very high velocity. It does not require any supporting media. In fact, it more easily passes through vacuum than in a supporting media like air. EMR is a form of energy, and this energy to pass does not require any supporting media. In fact, it passes fastly in vacuum than in air, right? And in contrast to these other waves like sound, which is not an EMR, it requires supporting medium to pass. And the most obvious example of EMR is light, which we can see easily by our naked eye, and this light occupies only a very small region in a spectrum of EMR, means in electromagnetic spectrum, right? Means light is one type of EMR. Light means which we can see by our naked eyes, right? So EMR is a form of energy that transmits through space on very high velocity. It does not require any supporting medium to pass. Actually, it passes fast in vacuum than in air. And this form of energy, EMR, is expressed in both forms, waveform and particle form, which means it has two components, electrical component and magnetic component, and that's why only it is known as electromagnetic radiation, because it has two components. One is electrical component and second one is magnetic component, and this energy expresses two forms. One is waveform and one is particle form, means it has dual forms, wave and particle forms. So, EMR is said to have a dual nature, exhibiting both wave characteristics and particle characteristics. But this duality is not confined to the visible portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, but can be demonstrated for the whole region of electromagnetic radiation. Means the whole radiation, we can say that any particular part of the radiation does not have both of the characteristics, wave and particle characteristics, but the whole region, the whole radiation has both of these characteristics, wave and particle characteristics. Means a particular small part of radiation does not exhibit wave and particle both properties, but the whole, any type of whole radiation gives both characteristics, wave characteristics and particle characteristics. So we have seen that EMR is a form of energy. It has two forms, wave form and particle form. It has two components, electrical component and magnetic component, and that's why only it is known as electromagnetic components. And to pass, it does not require any supporting media. Now, how this dual nature of EMR is confirmed? So first of all, in 1670 and progressing over 3 decades by Sir Isaac Newton, developed his corpuscular theory, and according to his theory, radiation is a small corpuscle, and corpuscle means a small particle, and this theory is known as Newton's corpuscular theory. According to this theory, electromagnetic radiation is considered as a corpuscle. Corpuscle means a small particle, means it has only one characteristic, and that is particle, right? Then, in the same time, by Newton's contemporaries means the persons which exist in the same era in which the Newton existed, right? Robert Hooke, Christian Huygens, and later Ornstein, Jean Fresnel mathematically refined the wave viewpoint of electromagnetic radiation. Means all of these scientists in the same era refined the wave characteristics of the EMR. Then James Clerk Maxwell applied its Maxwell in equation, and through this application it is confirmed that self-propagating waves has two fields, electrical field and magnetic field. And after this Maxwell's application, by the work of Max Planck, Albert Einstein, Louis de Broglie, Arthur Compton, Niels Bohr, and many others, current scientific theory holds that all particles exhibit a wave nature and vice versa, means all waves exhibit a particle nature. Means it starts from Newton's corpuscular theory, which considered electromagnetic radiation as a particle. Then Hooke and Christian and Ornstein research or describe wave property of electromagnetic radiation. Then by Maxwell's equation and through the work of Max Planck, Albert Einstein, Louis de Broglie, the current theory is confirmed that all particles exhibit a wave nature and vice versa, means all waves exhibit a particle nature, which means electromagnetic radiation has dual properties, wave property and a particle property. Currently, this theory is accepted. So, first we will see wave properties of EMR, and then we will see particle properties of EMR. First is wave properties of EMR, and as the name implies, an EMR is an alternating electrical and associated magnetic force field in the space. Thus, an EMR wave, electromagnetic wave, has an electrical component and a magnetic component. Both of these components, these two components oscillate in planes perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the radiation. See here in this figure, the direction of propagation of this electromagnetic wave is in the x-axis. Then the direction of electrical field means the electrical field is in the y-axis and the magnetic field is in the z-axis. You can see here clearly, right? The direction of propagation of this wave is x-axis, electrical field is moving in the y-axis and magnetic field is moving in the z-axis, right? So, both of these components are perpendicular to the direction of propagation as well as perpendicular to each other. You can easily understand, students, by this moving figure. See in this figure, the direction of propagation of this wave is x-axis. Now the blue one is the electrical field which is in the y-axis, and the red one is the magnetic component which is in the z-axis. Blue one is the electrical component of the wave and red one is the magnetic component of the wave. The blue one is the electrical component is moving in the y-axis, and the magnetic component which is in the red one, which is in the red color, is moving in the z-axis, right? Means both of these components are perpendicular to the direction of propagation, means x-axis, and perpendicular to each other. So these are the two components, electrical component and magnetic component in the electromagnetic wave. Velocity of the EMR in vacuum is independent of the frequency, and it has the constant value which is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, which is the frequency of the light. And as we have seen, it does not require any supporting medium for transmission. Velocity of EMR is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Now characteristic parameters of wave properties. Main four parameters are there: wavelength, frequency, wave number and velocity, and then we will see relationship between frequency, velocity and wave number. First one is the wavelength. What is the wavelength of an EMR? So wavelength is the distance between two successive maxima on an electromagnetic wave. Successive means closer to each other, means one after another is successive, and maxima means the highest point. The highest distance covered by electromagnetic wave is known as maxima, and the lowest distance is known as minima. Here in the figure you can see the crest and trough. Crest is the highest point of this electromagnetic wave, and trough is the lowest point of this electromagnetic wave, right? And A describes the amplitude. Amplitude is the point from which we measure the height of this electromagnetic wave. Means amplitude is measured from the direction of the propagation, right? Crest is the highest point of the electromagnetic wave, which is also known as maxima, which is also known as nodes, and a trough is the lowest point of the electromagnetic wave, which is also known as minima, which is also known as antinode, right? So the distance between two successive maxima or two successive crests is known as wavelength, of which symbol is lambda, and or the distance between two successive minima or two successive trough is also known as wavelength. Here the symbol is lambda. In short, we can say that the distance between two identical points on an electromagnetic wave is known as wavelength. Identical points means same point. If we measure crest, then from one crest to the second crest, or if we measure from trough, then from first trough to the second trough, right? Means two identical points. Or you can also say that, students, distance between two successive maxima or the distance between two successive crests. The word successive is important because the distance between first and second crest is known as wavelength. If you do not mention successive, then the crest may be any. First and third, distance between third and 10th crest, right? So the word successive is important. Distance between two successive maxima or minima is known as wavelength. And the symbol of wavelength is lambda. Here, see the shorter wavelength is, you can see the shorter wavelength and the longer wavelength, right? So you can easily imagine the shorter wavelength and the longer wavelength. The wavelength of the upper figure is shorter than the lower figure. Units of wavelength are meter, centimeter, millimeter, micrometer, nanometer and angstrom. And you all are very well aware about the relationship between these units. 1 lambda meter means 10 raised to minus 4 centimeter means is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 meter, right? It is a very basic relationship between meter, centimeter, nanometer, millimeter and angstrom. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter is equal to 0.1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 meter. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Nanometer is also designated as millimicron. The nanometer follows the recommendation of the National Bureau of Standards in 1963. National Bureau of Standards in 1963 recommends nanometer, and so in spectroscopy to describe wavelength the nanometer unit is more widely used than other units. Now, monochromatic wave and polychromatic or heterochromatic wave. Mono means one, poly means many and hetero means many. A beam carrying radiation of only one discrete wavelength is known as monochromatic, and a beam of radiation having several wavelengths is known as polychromatic or heterochromatic radiation. Means it is very easy. If a radiation has only one discrete wavelength, means the same wavelength throughout the radiation, then it is known as monochromatic radiation. And if a radiation has more than one wavelength, then it is known as polychromatic or heterochromatic radiation, right? So this was all about wavelength. Now, second parameter of wave properties is the frequency, of which symbol is mu. This symbol is known as mu, not mu students, it is mu. The number of wavelength units passing through a given point in unit time is known as frequency of that radiation. Number of wavelength units passing through a given point in a unit time is known as frequency of radiation. Here see in the figure students, the red, focus on any red point. In a unit time, from the same red point, the black radiation is moving fast. Then the red radiation is slower than the blacker one, and the black one, and the blue radiation is slower than the red one. Means the black radiation is the fastest one, and the blue radiation is the slowest one, and the red radiation is the medium. Means in a unit time, consider a second. Means in 1 second, more black radiations are passing through the given red point, right? I hope you can understand from the figure, right? Number of wavelength unit passing through a given point in unit time is known as frequency. Means the frequency of black radiation is higher than the frequency of red radiation is lower than the black radiation, and then the frequency of blue radiation is the lowest one. Here the number of wavelength unit passing through a given point in a unit time is per time. So the frequency has unit reciprocal to time, means per second. Cycle per second or hertz or Fresnel are the units of frequency. 1 hertz is equal to 1 cycle per second, and 1 Fresnel is equal to 10 raised to 12 hertz. Other units of frequency are kilocycles per second, or megacycle per second, and 1 megahertz is equal to 10 raised to 3 kilohertz is equal to 10 raised to 6 hertz. Mega kilo, right? Third property is wave number, which is symbolized by mu bar. Number of waves per centimeter in vacuum is known as wave number. Number of waves per centimeter in vacuum is known as wave number. It is symbolized by mu bar. And number of waves per centimeter in vacuum, so the wave number is equal to 1 by lambda. Means wave number and wavelength both are reciprocal to each other, right? Because number of waves per centimeter in vacuum is known as wave number. So wave number and wavelength both are reciprocal to each other. Wave number has unit reciprocal to distance because per centimeter, which means centimeter inverse, and for this centimeter inverse the unit Kaiser is used. Sometimes kilo Kaiser is also used, and 1 kilo Kaiser is equal to 1000 Kaiser is equal to 1000 centimeter inverse. And this wave number property is generally more used in infrared IR spectroscopy. The fourth parameter is velocity, which is symbolized by small v. Product of wavelength and frequency is equal to the velocity of the wave in the medium. Right? Velocity means the speed through which the radiation is passing. So the wavelength and frequency, product of wavelength and frequency is equal to velocity, means lambda into mu is equal to v. And units of velocity is centimeter per second or meter per second. So far we have seen, students, wavelength is the distance between two successive maxima, its symbol is lambda, and units are meter, nanometer, centimeter, etc. Then the frequency, number of wavelength units passing through a given point in unit time is known as frequency, its symbol is mu, and units are cycle per second or hertz or Fresnel. Wave number, number of waves per centimeter in vacuum, mu bar, and centimeter inverse means Kaiser or kilo Kaiser, and velocity means wavelength into frequency is equal to velocity, and units are centimeter per second or meter per second. Now in contrast to frequency, the velocity is dependent upon the medium through which radiation is passing. Frequency is independent, but velocity is dependent upon the medium through which radiation is passing. As the density of the medium through which EMR is passing decreases, wavelength and velocity of radiation increases, and reaching constant maximum values in vacuum. At this, the velocity is 3 into 10 raised to 10 centimeter per second or 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. So the frequency remains constant, and the relation between wavelength, frequency and velocity of light in a vacuum, we can say that lambda into mu is equal to c. And we know c is a natural constant velocity of light in vacuum, which is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, right? Here lambda into mu is equal to v, right, velocity. But the velocity of EMR in a vacuum is constant, of which value is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, which is the value of c. So lambda into mu means wavelength into frequency is equal to c, right? Now we will see the relation between frequency, velocity and wave number. We have seen that mu bar means wave number is reciprocal to wavelength, means 1 by lambda. But we have seen that here lambda into mu is equal to c, right? So mu is equal to c by lambda, or can say that lambda is equal to c by mu. So putting this value of lambda into the above equation mu bar, the mu bar is equal to mu by c, or mu is equal to c into mu bar, means frequency is equal to c into wave number, right? The relationship between frequency, velocity and wave number will be frequency is equal to c into wave number. C means velocity, of which value is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, right? After recalling all the definitions and units of frequency, velocity and wave number, you can easily justify this relationship, right? So this was all about wave properties of EMR. Now particle properties of EMR. Phenomena of refraction, reflection, reinforcement and destructive interference are examples of wave properties. Reinforcement means instructive interference, means strengthening to each other, is known as reinforcement. These phenomena can be easily explained by wave properties of an EMR, but the phenomena like photoelectric effect cannot be explained by wave properties of EMR, and EMR shows photoelectric effect. So, to explain this phenomena, the scientists assume that the electromagnetic radiation is considered as a stream of discrete packets. Discrete packets means particles of pure energy, and these packets or particles are known as photons, or quanta, right? These photons or quanta have definite energy and travel in a direction of propagation of the radiation beam with the velocity equal to that of light. Energy of photon or quanta, of which symbol is small e, energy is expressed in terms of energy per single photon or energy per mole of photon, and units of energy are calorie, erg, joule, we all know that, but in spectroscopy, electron volt is used to describe energy. 1 calorie is equal to 4.185 joule, 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to 7 ergs, 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 12 ergs, and 1 erg is equal to 6.242 into 10 raised to 11 electron volt. The energy of the photon is proportional to the frequency of radiation, because frequency is dependent on the energy, means energy and frequency both are proportional to each other, and to remove the proportionality sign, the constant, Planck constant is inserted. So the equation will be E is equal to H into mu, where E is the energy, mu is the frequency, and H is Planck constant, of which value is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 27 erg into second, or 10 raised to minus 34 joule into second in SI units, right? Energy and frequency both are proportional to each other, and E is equal to H into mu. H means Planck's constant. So we can say that a photon of low frequency or longer wavelength has a lower energy content than of higher frequency or shorter wavelength. We have seen that frequency and wavelength both are inversely proportional to each other, right? So if the frequency is low, the wavelength will be longer, and frequency and energy both are proportional to each other, means low frequency means low energy and longer wavelength. Frequency and energy are proportional to each other, and frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to each other. I am repeating, students. Frequency and energy are proportional to each other, and frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to each other, means lower frequency means lower energy means longer wavelength, and vice versa, right? So from this equation, E is equal to H into nu, we can say that, because we have seen this, that mu is equal to C into nu bar. We have seen these, students. See here, mu is equal to C into nu bar. So putting this value here in the new, E is equal to hc upon lambda, right? E is equal to hc upon lambda. E is for energy, h for Planck's constant, c for velocity of the light in the vacuum, which is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and lambda is for wavelength. And this is the Max Planck equation, which is very important equation in the spectroscopy. E is equal to hc upon lambda, right? Remember it. So this was all about electromagnetic radiation, its wave properties and its particle properties, right? Now moving towards electromagnetic spectrum. Spectrum means range, right? We know that spectrum means range. The entire range over which EMR exists is known as electromagnetic spectrum. This spectrum has main 5 EMRs: gamma rays, X-rays, UV visible rays, then infrared IR rays, microwave rays and radio waves. These 6 are the most important types of rays. Other than these, some other rays are also there, but these are the important rays are there. Here wavelength is indicated in the meter and frequency is indicated in second inverse, right? Now see, as the wavelength increases, energy decreases, right? Because we have seen that energy and frequency are proportional to each other, and frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to each other, right? Means increasing wavelength means increasing frequency, means decreasing energy, right? See in the figure, the wavelength is increasing to the right hand side and frequency is increasing to the right hand side and energy is decreasing to the left hand side, right hand side, sorry. The entire range over which EMR exists is known as EMS, electromagnetic spectrum. Now major characteristics of various spectrum. First one is gamma ray region. These are the famous ranges are involved here. The units are varied, right? No specific units means all the regions are not considered in nanometers. The units are varied. Gamma ray region has range from 0.02 to 1 angstrom. In a gamma rays are the shortest waves emitted by the atomic nuclei, involving energy changes from 10⁻⁹ to 10⁻11 joules per gram atom. Now the range of X-ray region is 1 to 10 angstrom, and it is absorbed or emitted by the movement of electrons close to the nuclei of relatively heavy atoms, and it involves energy changes of 1000 kilojoules. After X-ray region, the third region is UV visible region, means ultraviolet visible region, and this region is further divided into 3 regions: vacuum ultraviolet region and visible region. The wavelength of vacuum ultraviolet region is 1 to 180 nanometer. The wavelength of ultraviolet region is 180 to 400 nanometer, and the wavelength of visible region is 400 to 750 nanometer. Now the visible region is divided into VIBGYOR. We all know that VIBGYOR: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, right? But these colors cannot be differentiated clearly. See here, the colors cannot be differentiated clearly. It overlaps each other, right? In visible region, see, it overlaps each other. So we have taken here the color violet, then the blue, not indigo but the blue, then the greenish blue, bluish green, then yellowish green, then yellow, then orange and then red. And here the wavelengths in nanometer are given, and the visible region covers 400 nanometer to 750 nanometer. Generally we say that the wavelength of centimeter, and the wavelength of visible region is 400 to 800 nanometer. But to be specific, the wavelength of UV region is 180 to 400 nanometer, and the wavelength of visible region is 400 to 750 nanometer. Then the fourth region is infrared region, means IR region, and this region is associated with changes in the vibration of molecules, and this is also subdivided into three regions: near IR, IR and far IR. Wavelength of near IR region is 0.7 to 2.5 micron, wavelength of IR region is 2.5 to 15 micron, and wavelength of far IR is 15 to 200 micron. Infrared region is associated with the vibration of the molecules. Then microwave region is associated with the rotation of the molecules, and it ranges from 0.1 millimeter to 1 centimeter. And the last region is radio frequency region. It ranges from 10 meter to 1 centimeter wavelength. And here in this region, the energy change involved in this region arises due to the reversal of a spin of nucleus or electron. Due to the reversal of a spin of nucleus or electron, right? Means X-ray region is due to the absorption or emission by electrons. Then IR region is due to vibration of the molecule. Then microwave region is due to rotation of the molecules, and radio frequency region is due to reversal of a spin of nucleus. Right? If students, these are here, the wavelength or ranges are covered in various units, and if you remember in any specific unit like nanometer, then it is also okay, but these are the famous ranges, so we have covered here in various units, right? So this was all about electromagnetic spectrum. Thank you.